Before there were missiles, before nuclear threats, before the world even knew the name Iran, the Bible had already spoken. What if I told you that the rising hostility between Israel and Iran is more than modern politics? It's prophecy in motion, a divine drama written thousands of years ago that began not with governments, but with two brothers, and will end in a global collision like nothing the world has seen. It's easy to frame today's conflict as geopolitical. But what if something deeper is happening? What if Scripture didn't just hint at this conflict, but name the nations, map the alliances, and reveal the outcome? Welcome to a spiritual war disguised as politics. The nation we call Iran was once known in the Bible as Persia, and far from a footnote, Persia is a key player in God's prophetic timeline. From Cyrus, the liberator of Jerusalem, to the visions of Daniel, Persia's role in history has been profound. But at some point, something changed. Once a vessel of restoration, Persia became an enemy of the covenant. Today, Iran funds terror, declares hatred toward Israel, and calls for her destruction. Yet none of this surprises Scripture. In Ezekiel 38, Persia is named, not as a friend, but as a part of the final coalition against Israel. From the rise of Cyrus to the courage of Esther, the story we're watching unfold is as old as the Bible itself. Two sons, two paths. To understand Iran's role today, we must go back to Abraham, to two sons, Ishmael and Isaac. Ishmael, born from human striving, Isaac, born from God's promise. Ishmael's descendants would form many Arab tribes. Isaac's would become the people of Israel. But prophecy reaches further back. In Genesis 10, we meet Madai, ancestor of the Medes, whose people merged with the Persians to form an empire, the roots of modern-day Iran. Layer by layer, this becomes more than a political feud. It is a collision of destinies, a prophetic lineage versus a prophetic challenger. Yet both lines are seen by God. Both were shaped for a purpose. One carries the promise, the other tests it. Persia, from liberator to adversary. History tells us Persia once liberated Israel. Cyrus the Great, foretold by name in Isaiah 45, conquered Babylon and allowed the Jews to return and rebuild. He was a pagan king, yet God called him anointed. This wasn't coincidence. It was prophetic orchestration. Later, during Xerxes' reign, we find Esther, a Jewish queen in a Persian palace. Through her courage, a plot to exterminate the Jews was overturned. Once again, Persia played a redemptive role. But that same empire also became the seedbed of future opposition. Fast forward to 1979, the Islamic Revolution transformed Persia into the Islamic Republic of Iran. Its mission? Not just governance, but spiritual warfare, with Israel at the center of its ideology. Iran doesn't simply oppose Israel, it denies its right to exist. This too was foretold. Ezekiel's prophetic war. In Ezekiel 38, the prophet sees a vision of a final war. A coalition of nations, including Persia, rises against Israel in the latter days. Leading them is Gog of Magog, with allies like Cush, Sudan, Put, Libya, and more. Sound familiar? Today, Iran funds and arms terrorist proxies surrounding Israel. Hezbollah in Lebanon, militias in Syria, and Hamas in Gaza. These aren't random threats. They align with Ezekiel's vision. But the prophecy doesn't end with Israel's defeat. It ends with God's intervention. With plague and bloodshed, I will show my greatness and holiness. Then they will know that I am the Lord. Ezekiel 38 verses 22 to 23. This is not just a battle of nations. It's a revelation of God's sovereignty. Jerusalem, the final flashpoint. If Ezekiel 38 is the ignition, the spark will be Jerusalem. Not just a city, the epicenter of God's redemptive plan. On that day, his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives. Zechariah 14 verse 4. Jesus will return to the same place he ascended from, to confront the armies surrounding Israel. And Iran has made no secret of its desire to liberate Jerusalem. But Jerusalem was claimed by God himself. I have chosen Jerusalem for my name to be there. 2 Chronicles 6 verse 6. No nation can undo what God has decreed. The invisible war. In Daniel chapter 10, the prophet is told that a prince of Persia, a spiritual force, resisted an angel for 21 days. This wasn't just political, it was supernatural. Even today, Iran's aggression isn't just ideological. It's empowered by ancient darkness, by a spirit that hates God's covenant people. As Paul said, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces. Ephesians 6 verse 12. Israel is more than a country. It is proof that God keeps his promises, and Satan hates that. The church's call. This isn't just global conflict, it's prophecy coming alive, and the church cannot be passive. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Psalm 122 verses 6. We are called to pray, to discern, to prepare, not just for war, but for the return of the King. Are we awake? Are we watching the signs? Or have we been lulled by comfort and distraction? Conclusion. The war is written. How will you respond? The Israel-Iran conflict isn't beginning, it's been building for generations. We've seen Persia as both redeemer and rival, a tool of restoration and now a threat of war. But make no mistake, God's plan will prevail. Why do the nations rage? The one enthroned in heaven laughs. Psalm 2. Yes, war may come, but the end is secure. Every enemy will fall, and only one king will remain. So I ask you, are you watching? Are you discerning the season? Are you ready? If this message stirred your spirit, share it. Pray. Prepare. Because the war